Hey, second grade. So we are on my deck today. It's a little windy, but it's gorgeous out. And I thought let's continue with our changing of the scenery. The last time we listened to the wild robot, Roz was parading through the forest on top of a bear, and Bright Bill was with her, and they were celebrating the fact that I guess they made it through the baby bear attack, and Mama Bear kind of felt bad for all of that, so she was taking them home. And Roz had lost her foot in the process. Oh, and she saved Thorn. So Roz is like a hero. So she gets like this hero parade, and now they need to deal with her lost foot. Chapter 48, The New Foot. Mr. Beaver squinted. Whoa, that wind is strong. Mr. Beaver squinted at Roz's stump. I've never built a foot before. He stroked his whiskers and muttered to himself. There are really three problems to solve. The foot needs to grip the ground. It needs to be durable. And then there's the issue of fixing it to the leg. I might have to consult a few friends. Well, will she ever walk again? Said Bright Bill. What's that? Mr. Beaver was lost in thought. Oh, not to worry. You just sit back and leave everything to me. I love a challenge. Mr. Beaver plunked into the pond and returned a while later rolling a large section of a tree trunk. Say hello to your new foot, he said, slapping the wood with his tail. Hello, new foot, said the robot. That's the spirit. This beauty is from one of the hardest trees I've ever chewed, and I just need to make a few modifications. Mr. Beaver placed a piece of wood next to Roz, and he squinted, repositioned the piece, and squinted some more. With his claws, he marked different spots on the wood, and then he put his big chompers to work. The beaver chewed and gnawed and carved up that piece of wood, turning it over and over with his paws. So in my mind, I'm kind of picturing the beaver holding the wood and just being like, like you would chew a corn on the cob. Chit-Chat looked down from a branch and chattered through the quiet moments. This reminds me of the time I saw a fox catch a lizard by the tail, and somehow the lizard's tail fell off and he got away. Later, I saw that lizard got a new tail, and now Roz is going to get a new foot. Everything will be fine. The wooden foot took shape, and before long, Mr. Beaver was standing beside a beautiful carving that resembled a boot. He tried to slide it over Roz's stump, but the opening was too small, so he scraped out more wood until it fit perfect. Very good, he said, spitting the wood chips out. My friend should be arriving any minute for the next things we'll need. There they are now. But I would like you to meet Bumpkin, Lumpkin, and Rumpkin. But I call them the Fuzzy Bandits. 3 fat raccoons shuffled into the garden, dragging a tangle of vines behind them. Good day, said Bumpkin. Good day, said Lumpkin. Good day, said Rumpkin. You might already know this, reader, but raccoons have very nimble hands, and the Fuzzy Bandits use theirs to skillfully tie their vines around the robot's leg and around the new foot. The vines caught nicely on all the dings and dents and scrapes. And once they were tied good and tight, Mr. Beaver threw back his head and hollered, Trunk Tap, we could use your assistance. There was silence. I wonder who Trunk Tap is. Let me at him, said Mr. Beaver, smiling. Oop, wait, there was silence, and then 3 quick taps echoed down from the forest canopy. Let me at him, said Mr. Beaver, smiling. A very handsome woodpecker swooped into the garden. You called? Oh, Trunk Tap is a woodpecker, came the woodpecker's musical voice. Indeed I did. Everyone, this is my woodpecking pal Trunk Tap. Now, Trunky, we need some tree resin, the really sticky stuff. Can you help us out? Of course I can, said the woodpecker. You've got the perfect pine right here. Trunk Tap hopped over to the crusty old pine tree and pecked a few deep holes into the bark. Thick, syrupy resin began oozing out of the trunk. Mr. Beaver scooped up handfuls of the resin and smeared it all over the wooden foot, the vines, until they were glistening with stickiness. And then the resin dried up a short time later. Roz's foot was finished. This is wonderful, said the robot. She strolled around her garden. I'm as good as new. Mr. Beaver and Trunk Tap said to the robot as they strolled around the garden. Oh, we read that part already. Sorry. This is wonderful, said Roz as she strolled around her garden. I'm as good as new. Mr. Beaver and Trunk Tap and the Fuzzy Bandits went away, feeling pretty happy with themselves. They had done a nice thing. But it was the first wooden foot any of them had ever made, and within weeks the vines were coming undone and the foot was sliding loose. So they returned, determined to get it right. They found even harder wood, even tougher vines. They experimented with resin, heating it by fire, letting it boil, thickening, until it became indestructible glue. They kept tinkering with their design until finally Roz had herself a wooden foot she could rely on. Kind of reminds me of like a STEAM experiment, right? Like engineering, how you try something and then if it doesn't work out, you try again. Huzzah! Mr. Beaver rapped his knuckles on the new and improved creation. I knew we'd get it right. Roz moved slower than before. She had a slight limp, but she was back to her old self again. And that was a relief to everyone, especially Brightville. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but look at that picture of Roz and her foot. See how it's all tied up and glued. They did a great job. Okay, we're going to stop there. That was only one chapter, and it was a little short of 10 minutes, but I'm trying to tape in Flipgrid today, so we're going to end there, and then the next clip will be chapter 49, and hopefully chapter 49 and 50, and we can get into the 50s. We're really getting there with this book. I think that we might be done by the end of May. All right, guys, thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next clip. Bye.